Hello, hello everybody. Hope everything's good with you. Today's video is a little bit different. I wanted to start addressing some of the questions that you guys put forward to me via email or other messages, and sometimes they're questions that come up during sessions that I have with you. Everything I'm going to talk about today is either from my own personal experience or, as I said, those experiences that have come out during sessions with people. So it's experiential. It's from experience. Now the subject is the effects of ascension. Now this is a very, very big topic. So what I'm going to do is break it down into those effects that are physical and those that are non-physical. Okay, so I'm going to deal with the physical aspects first. So now the effects of the ascension process, and by the ascension process I mean changes within us around how much light we are able to hold, how much energy we are able to hold within our bodies, and the subsequent changes in frequency within our bodies. So as we hold more energy, as we hold more light, more photonic energy, our frequency rises. And we call this process ascension. And it has lots of effects. But today we're going to deal with the physical ones. So collectively, we are all experiencing this at the moment. Now, the planet, as we know, has increased hair frequency, and that's why we're all experiencing it as a collective. Or let's say we're all affected on some level. Because there just is more light flooding onto the planet. And also because she has raised hair frequency, that also comes the other way. It comes up from the planet too. However, some of us are aware of this and are actively engaged with this process. Okay, so as we said, everybody's affected. Everybody's going through it on some level, regardless of whether they're aware of it or not. But some of us are actively choosing to work with the process. So this is different from anything that has happened before, because of the speed at which it is happening. So previously, people did go through spiritual awakenings. They did go through the ascension process, but it was taking longer. Now changes can happen within us in days, weeks, months, but nowhere near as long as it did before. So it can happen spontaneously. That was what happened to me. I had a Kundalini awakening, which we're not dealing with specifically here, but can be part of that process. Or it can happen over a period of time. Or it can be something that is triggered within us, often by a traumatic event, which causes us to go within and to engage with our body and our energy system and become much more aware of energy within us and around us, and therefore we begin to engage with that process. Okay, so but it does have very, very physical effects upon us. And it's because it's affecting our body on a cellular and molecular level. Okay? And it's difficult for our bodies to change. It is difficult because we are dense matter. Okay, and matter is extraordinarily difficult to change. That's the sort of material building block of our bodies, and it's being restructured and it's being altered. And so certain built-in mechanisms within us respond to this. So I'll just go through some of them. I'm going to talk about our immune system. I'm going to talk about our heart and our circulatory system, our nervous system. Just trying to think. I've got my notes here. So yeah, and one or two other aspects. Yeah, particularly with the role of water within our body. So let's get started. So let's talk about the immune system. Very often, you know, let's just say the job of the immune system is to protect the body and to clear the body of anything that's unwanted. So when our body identifies something that is unusual, our immune system has a response to that. Okay. Now, as we all know, we understand a bit about this from the way that antibodies work. So we produce antibodies to fight something external, such as a virus or a disease that has entered our body from the external environment, and we produce antibodies, and that they are produced by our immune system to fight those external attacks, if you like. Okay. So, but it's difficult for our body to tell the difference. So if it detects that there are changes happening, that immune system can very often kick in. Now, this is where we find, it can be things such as inflammation, joint and muscle pain. It can be allergic reactions. It can even be things that are much more serious, such as well-known immune conditions. So we might think about things like fibromyalgia or rheumatoid arthritis and those kind of conditions. I personally have experienced this in my life as well, with a rare immune condition, which I had for a number of years during this change, but has now actually healed and left my body. So it's interesting, they very often do after a period of time, and as the body adjusts and heals itself, these conditions either improve or leave the body altogether. Now, I should say at this stage that nothing that I say in this video is discouraging going to medical practitioners and seeking medical advice. Okay, it's not a replacement for those things. All right, it's simply understanding that these things can arise as part of our ascension process. But we still have to deal with them, of course, and that can include certain medications and definitely taking medical advice. Okay, so nothing I say in this video is against that. In fact, I would actively encourage doing that to make sure your body gets the support that it needs. However, let's get back to the immune response. So, of course, as we ascend, we are clearing out a lot of negative energy, or energy that our body doesn't need anymore, in addition to absorbing more energy as well. So there are two things going on for the body to respond to there. And the things that we're clearing out can be energy that we carry from either trauma in this life, other lives that we live, or it can be ancestral trauma as well. And this is very often where seeking the assistance of a healer can help us, of course. But nevertheless, as we process this experience, okay, that can be one of the ways in which our body does respond. So another way is that we can experience difficulties with our nervous system. Okay, so the nervous system is really a bridge between energy that comes towards us and how our body interprets that energy as information. Okay, so it's not just external energy, it's internal energy as well, although as we've established, that level of energy that we hold within ourselves is changing, and hence the information our body is receiving and our nervous system is receiving is changing too, and it has to adapt to that. So as we open up, we become much more, we're acutely aware of far more energy around us, okay, and within us. And the magnetic and electric energies within our bodies are affected. So literally, you know, the protons and neutrons that are in our molecule, our molecular structure and our cellular structure are affected. And we can experience a number of sensations and issues. These can be range on the lower side of sort of tingling and numbness to imbalance, okay, and perhaps lack of coordination at times. Also, it can affect our vision. Yeah, sorry, I lost my train of thought there. Our vision. It can affect our brain function. So very often people describe feeling quite detached, feeling a kind of brain fog, if you like. And also very commonly we can experience headaches and a lot of pressure in our heads, which also is linked to our third eye chakra and how that is opening during the ascension process. Our nervous system also affects many of the processes within our bodies. To name just a few, our sleeping patterns, our breathing, our digestive system. So it can also affect those. So the third area I wanted to mention was our heart and circulatory system. So, you know, again, during the ascension process, our heart chakra is widening and opening, expanding. Okay, it's realigning the rest of our chakras with the heart, which is where we access our soul, where we connect with our soul. Okay, and where we through that soul connection also connect with source energy. So you can see how it's affecting our entire energy system, all of the chakras. All right, and physically this can be experienced as heart flutters, or palpitations, that feeling of a racing heart, which very often feels like anxiety or a panic attack. We can also have chest pain. Many people, when they're meditating, especially if they're specifically doing a heart chakra meditation, but not always, it can be any form of meditation, say that they have that sort of acute awareness of the heart pulsing, you know, the beat of the heart, almost as if it's sort of going to burst out of the body. Okay, so not to worry though, this is all about heart expansion, all right? And we are connecting with our heart, so we are becoming more aware of it. Now bear in mind what I said about it, we should always also seek medical attention and advice alongside all of the information that I'm giving in this video, okay? So another area that many people, or another sort of effect that many people experience is weight gain. So, which may seem a little strange, but it isn't really, because it's often linked to water retention. And of course, water, as we know, holds information, it holds energy, and it's also our body's way of clearing itself, cleaning itself out too. So often our body retains water so that we can literally process the energy that is passing through it, okay? That massive influx of photonic light and energy that we are holding is held by the water in our bodies, okay, and is also helping to clear through those energies that need to be cleared out of our body in order to allow even more light in. So we talked about some of those, we talked about things that need to be cleared, energy that we hold in our body related to trauma in this life, other lives, ancestral trauma, and so on. So water aids us to clearing that out. It's part of that process anyway. All right, so that can lead to a sort of temporary weight gain. Now, for some of us, it can go on quite a while. All right, just depends how long that process takes. Others, it can be just a short period. So that's by no means an exhaustive list at all. I should also mention the most common symptom, or I don't particularly resonate with the word symptom, effect of the Ascension process is an extreme tiredness. Okay, but if we think about everything we've just said, all of the processes that are going on in our body on a physical level, and all of the hard work that it's doing, okay, in response to the energy changes within us, that's understandable, isn't it? It's understandable why our body would feel very tired. Okay, so what to do? Well, the main thing is to stay connected with our body. Okay, so it really is doing a grand job, really. So listen to your body. Okay, if you feel tired, rest. If you feel hungry, eat. If you don't. I'll mention some specific things now, but take time out from your daily routine to be still and to listen to your body. Meditation is, of course, extremely useful in this regard, but it can also just be going and lying on the bed and just feeling your body, feeling where it feels discomfort, okay, and really listening to it. So also taking time out to connect and ground your body. So connect with your lower chakras, in particularly those that where we do ground ourselves, and connecting with the earth. And we've spoken many times about all the different ways that we can ground, particularly, again through meditation, but particularly through going outside, barefoot on the grass, connecting with nature, and so on. And actually all of the things that I'm going to mention now are all also grounding exercises. So drink plenty of water. We've already spoken about how water is essential to this process, okay? So drink plenty of water, be in water, bathing in water, okay, taking showers, as well as drinking. And it's a good practice, it's a nice practice as well. It feels good, but it's also a very useful one to bless the water before we bathe or before we drink it. Okay, water is conscious. It's conscious. So when we bless the water and ask the water to be healing and to assist our bodies, then it hears us. Okay. So also alongside being connected to our bodies and listening to our bodies is also the practice of consciously thanking our bodies and sending it love. Because again, like water, our cells are conscious. They hold consciousness. So when we actively send love to our bodies and encouragement and gratitude to our bodies, it hears us. Okay. Good. So also exercise is important. It's vital not to overextend our bodies. Okay, so remember all that it's doing, all the work it's doing, and all that it's the ways it's helping us. Overextending our bodies is not a good idea during this time, but gentle exercise such as walking or yoga will be really beneficial to get the energy moving, yeah, through our body. So that's really important, and I know I've personally found that extremely helpful. Also, breath work. Okay, so we all know that just when we feel unwell at all, our body holds more tension. So breath work to release this tension, okay, especially beneficial for our circulatory system and our heart and our nervous system, okay, to calm those processes right down, to recenter us as well, and again helps us to connect with our body. Also to eat well. Okay, so again, listen to our bodies. There doesn't need to be any sort of special diet or fad diet or anything like that. Everybody is unique. We're all unique. Okay, so there's no right or way wrong to do any of this, and including diet. So listen to what your body wants. Okay, be moderate, not overboard in anything. Because then that just taxes the body further, because it's another adjustment that it has to make. So be moderate, and be inclusive of natural foods, those that are linked to the planet. Again, that's another grounding method. Okay, so natural foods must be included. All right. Now, I also wanted to mention the element of fun and joy, okay? Because sometimes when we're experiencing physical effects and symptoms, we can become quite low in mood and emotionally and psychologically affected, and this doesn't help our body. It's another burden on the body to cope with. So remember to include fun and joy in your life. Now, many of us, I've talked about this before, enjoy music, enjoy dancing. Laughter is something else. So spending time with our friends, watching something funny is a really good way to bring that joy in. And of course, spending time with our friends and family. And that sort of leads on nicely to the next point, which is community. And sharing your experiences and what's happening to you is hugely important, whether that's with those that we have around us physically, or whether that's the online community where we can find people that are also having these experiences, empathize with one another. That's a huge support, okay, emotionally and psychologically. And the sort of last thing to say really is knowing that it will pass. It's that saying, isn't it? All things pass. And it's true, all right? So yes, our bodies are going through a period of adaptation, and it's helping us with all of that. It's doing its best, okay? But it will pass. And just to say also from my own personal experience, but also working with clients, that these things are very often cyclical. And again, that's our body helping us, because we will go through a period of expansion, a period of growth, and an influx of energy and light that we are holding. And then there is a period of integration where our body does that adjustment work, okay? And then what very often happens is we have another period of expansion and growth, and we're holding more light again, okay, more energy, and then we go back into integration, and so it continues, all right? There's no fixed end point with any of this. We're always growing and expanding, okay? We're always on that journey. So, I mean, I wanted to say, again, to reiterate that do seek medical advice, particularly where any of these effects are extreme, particularly where they're affecting our immune system and our circulatory system or our nervous system, okay, because it may need that we do need some assistance with that for a period of time, and that's okay. So do that, but equally alongside that, you know, healers can help. Now, healers, we ourselves are not immune to any of this, and that's why, you know, as we often say, healers heal healers, and we all help assist each other. But if you're not a healer, and actually we are all healers, we're all healers, but if we feel we would benefit, do go and see a healer, and we can help you via, you know, the energy system, the chakra system, to perhaps ease some of these processes, all right, and certainly help you to realign the chakras and assist the process of clearing out energy that needs to go, and so on. So there's lots of fantastic healers out there. Sometimes it can be that a certain person helps us at one point in time because we really resonate, we feel drawn towards that healer, and then at another part of the journey we may resonate with somebody else, and we feel that they are the person to help us in that part of our journey. So don't be afraid to go to different ones. What I would say about that is it's important in between to allow our body, as we said, to integrate what is happening. So after a healing session, we do need to integrate, okay, and give our body a chance to respond to that work, right? But, you know, find the healer that resonates for you at that moment in time, all right? And all of the other things that we've mentioned today that can help, they are ways in which we can heal ourselves and assist ourselves along this process as well. There's much that we can do to help ourselves, and that's always useful learning that we can carry forward in our lives into the future as daily practices, or just practices that we engage with at particular periods of our life when we need it. All right? Good. So I hope this has been useful. Now, I'd be really interested to hear from you the physical effects that you're experiencing or have experienced, and any tips that you have of things that have helped you along the way. Okay, that's always useful because we are a community. As we said, that's one way in which we can support each other. So do share those and comment on each other's posts and so on, because that's a really beautiful thing that can come out of all of this as well. Okay, good. So if you do want to book a session with me, please do continue to ask your questions. I have just started to do these videos, so as you've observed, they're not channeling videos. I'm still going to do those. They won't stop. But yeah, I'm just starting now to address some of your questions, and in the next video I will look at those effects of ascensions that are non-physical. Okay, so we'll look at some of those, some of the sort of psychological, emotional and environmental changes that we experience. Okay, lovely, lots of love.